A question I get all the time is, since interest rates are higher now, should I even think about buying a home, or should I wait until interest rates drop? Let's talk about it. Should you even buy a home in today's real estate market in 2024? I'm going to go over what's going on in today's real estate market, specifically Chicago's market, what interest rates are doing, what interest rates are predicted to do in the future, and if it's even worth buying real estate in today's prices. And in the end, I'll even give you a scenario where you should probably not buy a home in today's real estate market. That's right, a realtor telling you when you should not buy a home. First, let's talk about the average home price in Chicago so we can see how interest rates are affecting home prices. The average home price in Chicago right now is around $340,000. Now, if you look to see what average home prices were 3 years ago, they were around $330,000. So that means home prices actually haven't gone up that much in the past 3 years. In fact, for a little while, the average home price actually fell from April 2023 to June 2023. All of this is most likely due to interest rates rising ever since 2021. Since the interest rates rose, that means the cost of buying a home or the cost of a mortgage is more expensive, which means people are now unwilling to pay those high prices. Now let's look to see what interest rates are doing. As of today, as of this recording, the interest rate for a 30-year mortgage is around 7.17%. Now, I know this may sound high to a lot of people, but this is actually down from the peak of October last year when interest rates were almost around 8%. Now, what are interest rates predicted to do in the future? Are they predicted to go up some more, or are they predicted to go down? A top official from the Federal Reserve suggested that interest rates could actually stay the same for the foreseeable future. That means interest rates could stay between the 7 and 8% mark for the next year or two. What about the supply of real estate in Chicago? What's actually for sale out there? According to the MLS, the number of new listings has been declining for a while now. It's important to note that the decline of new listings has actually slowed down in the past few months, but the fact remains that there still isn't quite as much out there for sale as there used to be a few years ago. As a realtor, I constantly hear buyers saying they can't find a lot for sale that matches their criteria. There simply isn't as much to choose from as we're used to. So we know what the average home prices are doing, we know what interest rates are doing, and we have an idea of the supply of inventory that's out there. With all of this info, should you even consider buying a home in 2024? If you're making your decision strictly based on what interest rates are doing, think about it this way. There are only 3 things that interest rates can do in the future. Interest rates can rise, interest rates can stay the same, or interest rates could fall. If interest rates rise, then you would actually be happy that you bought real estate now because real estate would be more expensive in the future. If interest rates stay the same, you're actually better off buying now because chances are home prices will continue to increase in the future. What if interest rates actually fall in the future? Won't that mean that you paid too much for your home if you bought it now? Actually, I don't think that's the case, and let me explain. If interest rates fall in the future, you can simply refinance to get the better rates. However, if you buy a home now, you actually lock that price in. However, if interest rates do fall, with all the buyer demand that's out there, along with the low inventory which we talked about earlier, home prices will skyrocket again like they did back in 2021. If that does happen, you'll be glad that you bought a home now because you locked in a lower price and you'll be able to refinance once interest rates are lower. So it'll still be better off for you if you bought a home now. In my humble opinion, it is not a good idea to base your home buyer decision solely on what interest rates are going to do in the future. When it comes to buying real estate, I've always found that the best time to buy real estate was a few years ago. The next best time to buy real estate is now, as long as you are ready. With that being said, there is actually a scenario in today's real estate market where I would not buy real estate. We all know that not only real estate, but everything else in general is more expensive than it was before. Inflation is real. You can also never tell for sure when real estate or anything else is going to get even more expensive. Because of this, I would not buy real estate if you can barely afford it, or if buying real estate will end up leaving you house poor and not able to do anything else. People used to do this all the time, buying a home using all their savings and having nothing left over to do anything else. I know my parents did it. Even I did it when I bought property over 10 years ago. When I bought my property, all I pretty much had left is enough money to buy a bed, and I had a couch and a TV that my parents gave me. I would not advise doing that today. Once again, inflation is real, and it's a lot harder to save up money for everyday needs than it was 10 years ago. Groceries cost more, car gas costs more, don't even get me started on utilities. Hey, remember when Netflix was even $6.99? In today's market, I would not recommend you spending all your money on real estate and having nothing left over for emergencies. If you do that, all it takes is one random bill to be more than what you thought it would be, or for one random home repair to pop up, which they always do, and you'll be in trouble financially. Instead, you should make sure that you buy something that's within your means, or in other words, buy something where you can not only afford the mortgage, but you'll have a little bit of money left over for emergencies. When it comes to real estate, you should always have a little money set aside for a rainy day.